Good morning. I wrote a ghost play once called Genevive Stickney's Ghost in the year of 2013. Apparently, there is a ghost named Genevive Stickney who hanged herself within her home elevator back in the 1940s, and later on, then her home turned into the Bowers Harbor Inn, and it became a culture visit. And some say that they saw Genevieve Stickney's ghost. So I wrote the play and finished it. And later on, I found out that Genevieve Stickney's never hung herself, but she had died at the Pantlind Hotel in 1947 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Well, I still have my play script, and I changed the title saying Reflections of a Mistress. The three principal actresses is Genevive Stickney, Frances Wellington, and Marybeth Hazelworth. And later on I found out the very true mistress in this story in Traverse City, Michigan in 2013. Act 2, Scene 3. What happened then?
Charles and I walked away, and Genevieve went into the kitchen.
How was your drive to Traverse City?
I was grateful he rescued me from her that morning, and we drove over winding roads, passing barns and grazing horses. I had one sheer thought of leaving there, but as I heard Charles' voice, everything felt somehow right. And when putting my face out of the car window, feeling the wind hitting my face, I felt peaceful, and I silently watched the wooden fence post passing by.
Did she keep harping on you?
There was always a disconcerting quality about her.
Why didn't you leave?
Charles made things seem right somehow.
But that wasn't true, was it?
No.
Did Genevieve ever attack you?
I can't remember.
Frances, listen to me. I need to know why she hates you. It's what holds the key.
I don't understand.
If we don't find the key, she'll never stop haunting you.
Stop pushing me, Brian. I'm trying to remember. Did you hear that?
What?
There it is again.
What are you hearing?
It's thunder. I'm frightened. Brian, hold me.
Thunder is heard once more as Frances cowers to the floor. Where is she taking you?
I'm running from my bedroom in the middle of the night, and I see Charles.
Where is he?
He's in the den, and I'm crying and telling him she slapped me awake from my sleep.
She was hitting you? Why?
She just kept screaming over and over, "I won't let you take him from me."
Why was she saying that?
I don't know. She just kept screaming, "I saw you together."
What did Charles say?
He told me to wait there so he could go find her.
Did he find her?
No, I wouldn't let him leave me.
Where was she?
I didn't know, and I didn't care.
What happened then?
There was a flash of lightning, and I saw her standing there.
What did Charles do?
Nothing. He didn't do anything. He just held me as she screamed and pulled her hair.
Did he say anything?
Yes.
What was it?
He yelled at her to go back to bed.
Did she?
No.
What did she do?
She said we would be sorry and ran outside into the night.
Did Charles follow her?
No, he held me. Then, when the thunder had stopped, he walked me to my bedroom. Hold me, Brian. It's clear to me now. It was he who needed me most.
She sensed it, didn't she?
Yes. In spite of his good intentions, he could never conceal it from her.
I have a question you probably won't want to answer. Did you have a physical relationship with him?
No, it was strictly emotional. When we first left New York, he expressed his feelings for me, and I thought I made a colossal mistake. But as he continued, he shared his most guarded secret, being impotency, and he only wanted companionship, and that was all.
How long has she been haunting you?
From the day I learned of her death.
I feel her watching us now. Do you?
Yes.
I thought that was the key we were looking for. But there's something more she wants. What do you think it is?
I don't know. But Brian, I'm scared.
I went to New Mexico a few years back, to Santa Fe, to investigate a paranormal sighting at a jewelry store. Its owners had an apartment that was haunted. On the first day, while sitting and talking and writing down notes, a woman not over 30 walked up to us asking permission to see their apartment. When asked why, she said, "I lived there once when I was no older than 7 and I was abused." We took her up there, and as she stood facing the haunted room, she said her church told her to go there and face her fears. She said this was the only way she could reclaim what she had once lost. Before she left, she told us her stepfather, months later, had been found hanging by his neck from a rope. After I returned to Chicago, I received a phone call. The jewelers said their apartment was no longer haunted since she left that day. That's what you need to do, Francis. If you don't face Genevieve, she'll haunt you for the rest of your days.
It was a year after she attacked me that I saw she was getting worse.
How?
She wouldn't look in my eyes when we talked and ignored me as if I wasn't there.
Did you tell Charles?
I told him many times.
What did he say?
He only lightly said it was one of her puzzling moods.
That's all he said?
Yes, over the years Charles learned to be very tolerant of her.
Did you feel threatened?
Yes, especially at night. There were many times I would lay awake hearing someone outside my bedroom door.
Who was it?
I believe it was her breathing. She had a particular wheezing sound when feeling anxious.
Why would she be there?
I think she was listening for Charles' voice.
Did you have a lock on your door?
Yes, Charles had one specially fit, but one night, when I heard her outside my door, I noticed the lock wasn't latched.
What did you do?
I quickly sat up in bed, terrified, thinking of what to do.
What happened?
Well, I quietly got out of bed, crawling slowly to the door, and just as I was locking it, I heard her softly whispering, "I know you're afraid of me, but I'll soon redeem you one day."
What did she mean by that? Redeem you for what?
The following morning, I looked up its definition, which read, "To free one from consequences of sin." That's what she must have meant by redeeming me. She was going to free me from my sin. I was scared to death. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
I think she's in the room with us.
You don't have to think, Francis. I know she is. And I feel her too.
The following evening, Charles came back from his trip from Grand Rapids, and I went downstairs to see if he was in the den.
Marybeth appears wearing a casual dress, walking across the stage to the den. Charles is in a dark suit looking out the den window with his back to her.
Yes, he was standing by the window as I quietly moved behind him, saying,
Marybeth speaks to Charles.
"Charles, may I please have a word with you?"
Marybeth, why are you up so late?
I couldn't sleep.
Is this something that can wait until morning?
No.
What on earth is it? This isn't like you. What's wrong?
I have to leave this house.
Why ever for? Is it something Genevieve said or done?
Yes.
For God's sake, what did she do this time?
I've noticed subtle threats from her, and I believe she is threatening me.
What kind of threats?
One morning, she requested my assistance helping me to carry her crates of her preservative jam, and after stacking them on a wagon, she told me of the dangers of sealing them, and that if they're not adequately compressed and airtight, they would quickly kill those who taste them.
What are you implying?
She went on to say with an impish smile there were a few customers she wouldn't mind seeing share that fate. Then laughingly said, how fun it would be seeing them spreading their tainted jam generously on their toast in the morning.
You seriously can't believe this? It's only her twisted sense of humor.
There was another time I was carrying linen on the top of the stairs, and when I felt something brushing against my back, I quickly braced myself, turning around, seeing her standing behind me, saying, you should be careful carrying things with both arms, for if you had a fall, you'd have nothing to grab on the railing with.
You certainly can't believe she would do such a thing.
But I do. I have to go, Charles.
What about us?
I'm deeply sorry, but it pains me, Charles. I have to go.
Please, listen to me. I'm leaving again in a few days on a business trip to Toronto, Canada. I beg you to wait patiently here for my return. Will you please do that for me?
But I'm frightened of what she might do to me.
Trust me, I'll find a solution, you'll see. Just please don't leave until my return. Can you promise me this?
Yes, I promise, Charles, but I fear the worst is yet to come.
Francis speaks to Brian.
He walked me outside onto the front porch, where we looked up at the stars, not talking, but only wishing things were different for us.
Charles and Mary Beth exit as a ringing servant bell is heard. What is it, Francis?
She's calling me. I remember her ringing the servant's bell.
The bell is heard once again. Where was she?
She was in her bedroom, sitting at her vanity.
Once again, the servant bell rings loudly. At this point, Genevieve enters wearing a robe as she sits at her vanity, ringing the bell. What did she want you for?
Charles was returning from Toronto, and she wanted me to help her before his arrival. She was sitting there, and I walked behind her. She handed me her hairbrush.